Now all my charms are o'erthrown, and what strength I have's my own. Prospero, in Shakespeare's Tempest. Pardon me, sir, I did not do it on purpose. Marie Antoinette. Everything is an illusion. Mata Hari. What do all these lines have in common? You might think nothing, but all these quotes, all of these pearls, their last words. The first being from the Shakespearean character Prospero, as he says his farewell to the theater. And at least now, they're seen as a sort of farewell address from Shakespeare himself. The second being from Marie Antoinette, as she stepped to the guillotine and had a scuffle with her beheader. And the last being the grim perceptions of Mata Hari before her execution. Last words have an almost magnetic pull on us. We often see them as these ultimate little bits of truth, these one-liners that we, who haven't yet experienced dying or death, can come to live by. But why? Why do we look for our advice, our mantras, our game changers, all wrapped up into these supposedly universal one-liners? Generalized catchphrases just can't capture what it means to live a good and unique life. And what I really wanted to find here in the end, when I finally took this journey that I want to share with you, was not an answer. Because I don't think there is one way to live a worthwhile life, but many different pathways you can take. So I went on looking for a method to solve this great conundrum we call a happy life. And that's the conversation we're going to have here today. The match really struck me last year when my great aunt went into a nursing home. She's 63 years old, and she's been a quadriplegic since her early 20s, when she injured her spinal cord in a motorcycle accident. Watching her become more dependent on others, especially my mom, after living independently for many years, I had the chance to see loneliness for the first time. Truly, it's one of the most terrifying things out there. You see, nursing home residents are far too easy to forget. Most live isolated in their rooms with little social interaction, save a few check-ins from nurses' aides and the occasional family visitor. And because many have physical disabilities that make valuable communication difficult, it's often lost altogether. When we think about our role in the world and the larger impact that our generation may have on a positive future, talk often gets to blaming the past. But in a holier-than-thou mindset, we lose sight of the valuable relationships we could form with our elders to bridge the past, the present, and the future. Failures and victories alike are opportunities for growth, and we shouldn't have to reinvent the wheel to move forward. I searched for a few conversations to start our journey at my great-aunt's nursing home. The residents shared their lives, their thoughts, and their regrets with me. The common thread through all these stories was hope. Every resident had something that made their face light up. And that passion, that positive motivation, that has the power to change the world. Now, I'm going to invite a few classmates up here to tell these stories. Even though they are deeply personal to the people who shared them, now all these experiences are ours to pass on and grow from. Resident 1, a 99-year-old World War II veteran.
I was in the Navy 3.5 years. I was very good. I was in the Atlantic Ocean. You know the Normandy invasion? First wharf. On my ship, 318 people with the officers. I'm the only one alive. 317 are gone. I'm number 318. All my shipmates are gone. The first invasion in Normandy, Eisenhower was my general. I did pretty good. I'm lucky to be alive. I lost a lot of friends. When we had the Normandy invasion, the Germans were waiting for us. but we had our boys there too. We did pretty good. I'm lucky to be alive. My second daughter, I was in the Navy. First time I seen her, she ran in my arms. She was 18 months. She ran in my arms. Daddy, Daddy! Her name is Patty, Patricia. When I went in the Navy, my wife was 2 months pregnant, and I was overseas 18 months. When I came home, that's it. She ran in my arms. That was good.
Resident 2, a hopeful creator.
I'm glad to be alive. Seeing people that's worse than I am, I tell you, it's the hope to do better. I wanted to create my life again because I was living alone and I wanted to get an apartment and live alone again, but I didn't. This isn't a bad place to be. Without God or the institution, I'd probably be dead. I thank God for this type of institution that gives me a chance to live, with a chance to do my family, career all over again. I just would live and be happy. I want to be creative again. I'm an engineer by trade, an operating engineer.
Resident 3, my great aunt.
After I had my accident, life moved very quickly. You always were told to adjust to this type of life, that things were not going to be accepted, but that you had to adjust. And many people became very bitter, very angry about what had happened to them. And I was just too busy, and there was just never time to stop and think about really what had happened. And so, I think what I would tell someone would be to just keep moving forward. There's some benefit to looking back and remembering good memories, and that takes a long time to be able to accomplish because you feel both sad, but you feel that they were happy memories. So you just take on this new chapter and you deal with it as, hopefully, the best you can. You continue either on the road you were going on, or you select another course of action for your life, and you choose that road. But it's important to continue to function, to be a part of society, to socialize, to meet people. There's a whole life ahead of you if you're injured when you're young. I think you have to make sure that you find something in life to grab onto and to make you happy.
The ancient Greeks had this kind of mystical reverence for oracles, individuals who brought forward the prophecies of the gods. Oracles bore the responsibility of speaking up for those who couldn't speak up for themselves. And for the most part, communities listened, responded, and took action because of this valuable advice. I don't think oracles are gone. Prophets speak up every day because no voice should be silenced. No experience has the right to dominate over another. When we let our grandparents, our neighbors, even complete strangers who live in nursing homes be silenced, we lose the opportunity to learn and grow. Experiences may feel like this deeply private adventure, but those lessons we learn, they're for everyone. When we share and listen openly, that's when we truly have the power to stop making old mistakes and start building a future worth taking pride in, worth living in, and worth growing old in, eventually. Now is just the start. And since every story has its once upon a time, I thought I'd share mine with you. It began with an end. Some of the last thoughts of the incredible neurologist and storyteller, Oliver Sacks. He has been my muse. My dearest wish for you is to find yours. And now, weak, short of breath, my once firm muscles melted away by cancer, I find my thoughts increasingly not on the supernatural or the spiritual, but on what is meant by living a good and worthwhile life, achieving a sense of peace within oneself. I find my thoughts drifting to the Sabbath, the day of rest, the seventh day of the week, and perhaps the seventh day of one's life as well, when one may feel that one's work is done, and one may, in good conscience, rest. Thank you.